Welcome to this final build log for Microflash, my 3-pound combat robot. I'm Jason, the creator of Team Rocket Robotics, and today we're going to talk about three things probably pretty quickly. One is going to be the structure, two is going to be the armor, and the third thing is going to be some weapon testing. So let's get started with the structure. So up to this point in the build, I've been working with my 3D printed temporary structure, but now it's time to go ahead and build it in its final material, which is going to be 1/8" aluminum. So I took some templates that I created from the 3D models, kind of laid them down on the aluminum, and did a whole bunch of Dremel work. I mean, hours upon hours of Dremel work. Now the Dremel, it can kind of mill aluminum, but this is not really what it's designed for, and it worked, but like I said, it just took a really long time, and I finally got all my aluminum structure pieces cut out. Then they were all assembled together using little angle brackets that are also made out of 1/16" thick aluminum, and drilled some holes, tried to get things aligned as best as possible, and assembled it that way. And all in all, the structure came together decently well. I had to drill some of the holes a little bit bigger. I had to go back and kind of re-Dremel out some things that I kind of screwed up. But all in all, it wasn't a horrible process, just a lot of work with a Dremel. Then, with that complete, I could actually go ahead and build the final armor. Now, there was a live stream earlier where I did some of the armor work. In particular, I started with the side pieces here. Now, these side pieces, armor is a bit of a generous term. I've actually been calling them bumpers through most of the build process, or at least internally, that's what I've been calling them. Maybe I've been calling them armor here. These parts are made of 1/8" ultra high molecular polyethylene. And I call them bumpers because, like I said, they're really not true armor. Their main job is just to protect the wheels from getting ripped off. And you can see here what I did. So I started with a template, where actually I made one of them fit in place, and then I kind of traced it out and turned it into a paper template, which then I could make several more. Now, this particular material can be shaped by heating it up and bending it around. That's what I'm doing here to create several of the same shape, and I eventually drilled some holes in it, and so I had a few spare pieces of these bumpers going into the fight. As for the back of the armor, I went through two variations. Initially, it kind of created a bit of a C-clamp that kind of just clamped down, and all it really did was kind of protect the battery, but it left a lot of wiring exposed, which wasn't great, but you know, it's something. But by the time I put that on, I discovered I was about 100 grams underweight once I had the whole robot together. So I was able to go back and build something a little bit, well, better coverage. I mean, at least it protected the wiring. It's still 1/8" thick poly, whatever it is, ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, plastic crap as I've been calling it a lot on this particular series. But you know what, it did its job, and I actually had a little thing down here where I cut a piece of it off, and I pretty much taped it on there as a little flap to get access to the charging port and things like that. So that worked pretty good. Now, in the previous video, I talked about the weapon, but then at that point, of course, I was still running the 3D printed frame, so I really couldn't go ahead and properly test the weapon. Now let's go ahead and do that. Well, there you go. That is the last of the build logs for Microflash. It's time to send this guy into combat and see just how he does at Motor City Massacre 2, which occurred, actually, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of recording this video after the fights, but it occurred early November 2018. So the next video, I'll go ahead and post some updates about how things went, and probably talk a little bit about what I'm going to do for the next version of Microflash. So once again, I'm Jason, the creator of Team Rocket Robotics. Thanks for watching.